Welcome. First of all, I would like to thank the Student Council 2019-20 of Amala Medical College who have started a new venture called the Sulaimani Club with the main purpose of educating students. They are making small videos to teach the students. So here in this video, I would like to teach about how we go about taking blood samples from a patient, about the precautions that need to be taken while taking the blood samples, and the various vacutainers that are used while taking the blood samples. Okay, so these are the 3 vacutainers with different colored rubber tops that are used in our lab. So the first one with the red rubber top. So this does not have any anticoagulant in it. So the main purpose of taking blood samples into this is mainly for all biochemical analysis, for all your enzyme levels, for all your serum studies. We need to take blood samples into the one with the red top. Second one is the vacutainer with the blue top. Here there is citrate as the anticoagulant, and this is mainly done, the blood sample is taken into this container mainly for all the coagulation studies. The third one with the lavender colored top. So this is the one wherein we do most of the blood tests in the pathology lab. Example, the complete blood count, the peripheral smear examination, then the blood typing, hemoglobin electrophoresis, hemoglobin estimation. So samples for all this has to be taken into this vacutainer. There are 2 other vacutainers that are not used in our lab. One is the one with the grey colored top. That is used for glucose analysis, grey for G, so glucose analysis. Then we have the one with the black colored top that is mainly for ESR studies. Okay. Then we have the vacutainer with the green colored top. That is a heparinized tube that is mainly used for the osmotic fragility test and for all the cytogenetic studies. So those tubes are not used in our lab at present. So the term vacutainer itself tells you that there is vacuum inside the vacutainer. So the main purpose of creating vacuum inside this is so that when we introduce the syringe with the vacutainer into the patient's hand, into the vein, the blood comes directly without any pressure. Automatically it comes, the required amount of blood comes into the container. Okay, so we'll see how it is done. So now when we take a blood sample, we'll see the things that we need. The first part is the tying the tourniquet. So a tourniquet is tied a few centimeters above the median cubital fossa, and then the patient is asked to tighten her fist so that the vein becomes prominent. So in case a tourniquet is not available, we can also use a blood pressure cuff. We can elevate the pressure slightly so that the vein becomes prominent. Now strict aseptic precautions have to be taken. You need to wear gloves and you need to use spirited cotton or betadine cotton. Apply it properly into the cubital fossa to make the area completely sterile. So now the vacutainer syringe is taken, and the speciality of this needle is that it has 2 ends. It is bi-edged. So one is for inserting into the patient's vein. So take care that the bore of the needle faces upwards. So once it's gone into the vein, you can see the blood entering. You put the vacutainer into it, and after that you just have to wait for the blood to come automatically into the tube. So once it is done, the next thing that you need to do is, after you'll have to invert it gently so that there is adequate mixture of the anticoagulant with the blood. So once that is done, you release the tourniquet, you take a piece of cotton, keep it above the area of puncture, remove the syringe, and you ask the patient to apply pressure for 1 to 2 minutes. And then please take care that the needle is disposed of in the correct way. Do not try to recap the needle. Put it into a needle destroyer or into a container like this. So once that is done, this procedure is over, and if you need to collect more samples, you need to use the other vacutainers. So that's the procedure. So one point that has to be mentioned here is, so in case of any blood spill, what you have to do is immediately you can pour sodium hypochlorite onto the area of spill. If it is a larger area, you can put a newspaper over it, and then while cleaning you need to use sodium hypochlorite. So that is one important point. Then Another important point for the students to remember is after they collect the blood sample, you have to ensure that the vacutainer that you've collected blood in has the name and the hospital number of the patient. So this should not lead to any confusion as to the mixing up of blood samples. So please make a note that you have to ensure that the patient's name and hospital number is on the vacutainer that you've taken blood. So this video was completely based on how to take the blood and various vacutainers which need to be used and how to take precautions. So I hope this video will be of use to the student community as to the proper procedures to be done.